Welcome, welcome, welcome. This webinar session is on auditing with Insight VIA. I am Julie Bell, also known as Julie Waltz. I'm a certified safety professional, a PCQI, and an auditor with DEKRA. Giving the main presentation today will be Carla. She is a DEKRA customer service professional who helps hundreds of DEKRA clients with implementing and using Insight VIA. In this webinar, we want to cover the items shown on the screen. We will cover the benefits or why you should audit. We will show you various situations that cause you to need or why you should want to audit. We will show you how the Insight VIA system can help you provide consistent, effective audits with robust follow-up and tracking of any issues that are found to be less than satisfactory. We will show you more than one method for performing an audit using the Insight VIA, including our mobile app called My Walkthrough. And finally, we will show you how to get reports so you can see how the follow-through on audits on incidents are progressing or not progressing. To start with, I'd like to remind you of the simple design system or why we need to audit. Whether you are doing engineering design or software development or process design, the design model is similar to the one on your screen. Some models might have 5, 8, or 15 steps, but this 4-step quality model by Deming explains the logic of auditing, I think, the best. First, you plan your project. You determine the need. Then you do it, or you come up with various solutions and select and implement the best solution for your needs. The third step is to check or audit to see if your project or procedure is working the way it is supposed to. In other words, you inspect what you expect. And finally, I shouldn't say finally because this is a continuous improvement model, you act or you revise what did not match your expectations. This final step seems to be the missing link in many auditing systems. What is your method for following up or correcting variances? Or you might call them incidents or barriers or flat out things that keep you from meeting your company's expectations. We have some help for you. Using Insight VIA helps you with all phases of this continuous improvement model. We can help with the planning, we can help with the doing, but today we will focus on the auditing functions of Insight VIA that will help you inspect what you expect. Then, with deficiencies from an audit or walkthrough, moving seamlessly into the incident reporting function of Insight VIA, we will show you how you have the capability to follow through and act on any deficiencies. You can assign any incident or deficiency to someone or to a team for completion or revision. And you can assign a level of priority. And you can assign a designated time for completion. Then, using the reporting function, you can follow that incident or deficiency through actual completion. Understanding the continuous improvement model and understanding that a project or procedure is never static, it's always changing and there's always room for improvement, helps you to see the tremendous benefits to auditing. You can help guarantee that any lessons learned are implemented into your organization. You can make sure life safety policies and procedures are being followed. You will be able to collect data that gives you measurable metrics for benchmarking progress on many levels. And you will be able to identify hazards in advance of a catastrophic incident and make changes which will prevent severe issues. The ways that we have used audits and have encouraged others to use the audit function of Insight VIA are shown on the screen now. Through your own company internal audits, whether they be location audits or corporate audits, we will show you a couple of examples of checklists that can be developed using the audit function, and we will explain a little bit about third-party audits that have multiple applications. And we always need a miscellaneous category for those creative ways others figure out how to use the system. One of the tremendous benefits of Insight VIA is the capability for a company to creatively use the system however it fits their needs. Let's start with looking at some internal audits you might want to develop. You might have a safety team that conducts annual or biannual inspections at different locations. These audits can be created by selecting audit questions that have been built into your policies, or by using My Walkthrough app. You can do an impromptu type walkthrough with no advanced questions, but you can make note of, photograph, and track any deficiencies found. An example of an environmental audit would be the questions that need to be answered at least every 30 months with regard to an EPA-required risk management program. The questions are built from the list of things EPA wants to see inspected on a regular basis. You can build this into your risk management program manual. I think you're getting the idea here. Whether your needs are related to OSHA, DOT, FDA, marine terminals, quality assurance, processes in general, or just double checking or auditing your required documentation, these are all internal audits to help guarantee that what you expect is actually being achieved. Checklists are exactly that, a list to help check that all the things that are being expected are being done. The last item on this list, the job site checklist, has been very valuable for construction companies that work at various locations but want to make sure that all emergency criteria have been evaluated, as well as on-site training has been completed in a consistent manner with regard to corporate policies and procedures. Here you can see an example of an FDA inspection checklist that could be built from audit questions that have been entered into individual feed or food safety policies in your policy manual. Or an individual policy could be developed into which all the FDA inspection checklist questions could be built and used for this specific audit. We've seen several feed safety clients lately that are gearing up for a feed safety audit. They will build a checklist and then expect each of their feed mills to use it. This double checks to make sure employees at each feed mill will know what to expect for an FDA investigation and that they are prepared if and when FDA shows up. This miscellaneous list shows a few creative ways DEKRA clients have used the audit capabilities of InsightVia to verify that these systems, whether they be calibration of equipment, temperature checks, inventory, cleaning schedules, or any processes in general, are being reviewed and used in the method the company has prescribed. Now, this is how I use the audit capabilities of InsightVia the most, third-party audits. And third-party audits are just that. They are completed by a third party conducted by someone outside your company. But just because someone outside the company completes one of these does not mean the audit cannot be entered into the InsightVia system. It will involve creating an audit based on information an outside auditor leaves with your company. But once it has been built into the system, incidents or deficiencies can be noted and a report can be generated to help with the completion of any deficiencies. And it can provide reports. For example, doesn't the insurance company who does a loss control review always ask and keep asking, oh, when did this get done and who did it, right? To expand on the previous list, here are some examples of third-party audits. Property and compliance, risk management program, environmental screening audits, regulatory official compliance audits. I mentioned the insurance company audits and FDA food or feed quality audits. You can see who would do them. Insurance companies might be a regulatory official. It could even be a DEKRA professional. This picture on the screen is an actual printout of an audit developed in InsightVia for a process safety management or risk management program audit. The questions came from the risk management program manual for the facility, but they were built based on EPA and OSHA requirements. Carla will show you how to access and use this type of audit in paper form or from your computer or device in just a little bit. Our engineering team frequently conducts a third-party audit for environmental screening or compliance for companies. For our internal use, we have developed a list of questions that can be asked in an audit to help facilities review their environmental impacts and compliance. We have developed the audit from questions from various environmental regulations and can develop a gap analysis for a company. Looking at this list, it kind of looks like alphabet soup, but our engineering team has included many regulatory requirements that we know DEKRA customers must address. We always hope they can say, yep, we got this, or nope, we don't need that. But this type of audit has provided useful information for companies that really need to decrease their environmental or regulatory liability. I have saved the property and/or compliance audit list for last. This list of levels of compliance audits is based on what DEKRA has completed as a third-party auditor for a lot of customers. For many years now, DEKRA, formerly known as RCI, has been providing walkthrough inspections at many of our customer locations. With the advancement of InsightVia's auditing capabilities, we now can and do actually build these into the InsightVia system for our clients and customers. A level 1 audit is where we started, and we still conduct many of these audits on an impromptu basis. We walk and we talk and we take pictures with the facility managers or key operations people. After we get done, we provide a summary of the recommendations with pictures. The My Walkthrough app is perfect for this type of audit, whether it's conducted by a DEKRA professional or an in-house by your own safety team. What we call a level 2 audit or inspection is the same as level 1, only we add regulatory reference information for each deficiency we note, whether it be an OSHA code, an NFPA code, EPA code, we include reference information in a level 2. A level 3 audit covers the same as 1 and 2, plus we review written programs and any training that's been conducted at a facility. This audit might be completed using a combination of both the policy audit function of InsightVia for predetermined questions on policies and training, plus the impromptu My Walkthrough app for photographs and unsuspected issues that we find. A level 4 audit is the most in-depth and includes all of the above, plus employee interviews, which help to document and track employee versus management perception of the processes being evaluated. Finally, a level 5 audit could be any of the above. It's at the client's discretion and might additionally include something like legal oversight from their corporate attorney using predetermined questions, etc. Our DEKRA auditors use the InsightVia system to conduct audits, whether it be the My Walkthrough app or the policy audit function. These audits have been extremely beneficial to providing our companies documentation and follow-up capabilities on tracking deficiencies or incidents or gaps on the areas that need revision or improvements. Now we have Carla to explain how to use the audit functions, the incident reporting functions tied to auditing, and the reporting capabilities of InsightVia. Take it away, Carla.
Thanks, Julie. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is actually role levels, so we can discuss a little bit of what you can and cannot do. So the first role level I want to show you here is the corporate role level, which obviously they're able to view, add, change, and delete all audits, but they also can create the audits, whereas other role levels cannot do that. They can perform audits and create, so keep that in mind. The next role level is business units, and they can perform both location and corporate audits, and then also region can perform both location and corporate audits, and then location admin can perform location audits, and they are able to view the corporate audits, so they cannot go in and actually pull those up and do them. Now you notice that we do not have employee view or location edit so that they can do pretty much anything in the policy audit section, but they can do a policy audit by doing a paper version, but somebody in a higher role level will have to enter that into the system. The next thing we're going to talk about is performing audits and the different types of ways you could do that. So the first way we can do that is by the paper version, and we're going to look at those here in just a minute. An online version. We also can see an audit app version and a walkthrough app version. So the first one that we're going to look at is the paper version. So in order to get to that, you're going to go to our system, log in, and then you're going to go to admin, and then depending on your role level, if you're a corporate role level, you're going to click on Program C, and then if you're going to go down to Policy Audit Administration, and then to Schedule. If you are not a corporate user or corporate role level, then you're going to go to Admin, Admin, and then Policy Audit Admin, and then to Schedule. Once you log into the system, you'll see the screen right here, and you're going to actually pick your location first. So I've picked Galveston right here. You're going to notice there's a couple of drop downs you might want to check. So this one I've put, I want to see all completed. There are other options that you can use in there, and you can do not completed also. Then there's approved or not approved. You'll see those in there. And if you only want to see corporate audits or location audits, you can either do both or one or the other. Then you're going to be able to filter or use the drop down for your audit name by clicking on this. So it'll have all the different audit types that you have available to you. And then also if you want to see quite a few of them or not as many, you can use your start and end date ranges and pick that so you can only see as many as you want on here. Once you're done getting those filters picked, you're going to hit search, and then you're going to come down, you're going to look for the audit that you're wanting to do. So if you're going to do the paper version, you're going to click on this print button right here. And once you hit that print button, it's actually going to pop up a printout that you can print out and go out in the field and do your audit. And you fill that all of that information in. Then you're going to come back inside and you're going to have to put that into the system. So if you do that, you're going to go in, hit that go button. But before we go in and actually start looking at the program, I want to point out that notice it's locked by Carla Winger down here. That means I have clicked on that go button and I went in and started working on this actual audit. And what that does is it locks it out so nobody else can be working on that audit while you're in that. At this time, I'm going to switch over to live so everybody can see what I'm doing. And we're going to go in and actually work on one of the audits. All right, you can see I've pre-populated all of the different areas I want to. I am going to select one location so that it's less on my screen. I'm going to pick Galveston, Texas. And then we're going to scroll down just a little bit, and you're going to see all the different Galveston, Texas audits. And you can see each and every one of those. And I'm actually going to pick this one right here, and I'm going to click on the Go button. Sorry about that. All right, so the very first thing you guys are going to see is the schedule date. So this is the schedule date that we're going to be doing this audit. The only people who can change a schedule date is a corporate role level. So if you're not a corporate role level, you will not be seeing the Save Schedule Date button over here on the right-hand side. Next thing down that you're going to do is you're going to see there's a audit team. You're going to pick your audit team. So these two people I have pre-selected already to do this audit. And then once you get to this little box, this is a comment box for the entire audit. You can also put comments in for each one of the questions, but this is if you have some comments for the entire audit, you can enter them into this box. If there's any supporting files documents, they would be listed right here, anything to help you through that audit. The next thing down is the Upload Files button. If you click on the Upload File button throughout our whole system, it'll bring you to your desktop or wherever it starts out at on there, and you can pick anything you want to attach to these audits and then hit open, and it'll actually attach it to that upload file button. The next thing down is called extra audit info. This is some forms that we have built for someone who actually wanted some extra information for their audit that wasn't addressed in the actual audit. If you guys are wanting some of these forms built, you'll need to contact your account manager and we can get those built for your audit system. As we scroll down the page, you will see up here at the top, it says pick section from the drop down. So we're only going to be looking at one section today. I've already pre-done the safety and compliance manual, but I just want to show you how you can go in and actually do these questions. So up here at the top, you're going to see the question, a little bit of instructions with that, and then there's a comment box underneath there. If you decide this question isn't a question that you want on your audit or it doesn't apply, you can actually click the not applicable button. It will take that question and hide the scoring feature over here on the right-hand side so that you don't have to actually enter that question. Then as you come down here, we're reading the second question, and you'll notice that there is a 4 already entered in here that I entered, and then it says out of 5. So there's several ways you can actually do this. I always suggest people doing it for their max score, 0 and 1, 0 being non-compliant, 1 being compliant. But some people prefer to do it where they can score more than 1. The reason they might want to do that is because maybe they have been, everything else in the kitchen equipment here that they were cleaning looks good, but they really do need just to clean that refrigerator door really quickly. So we want to make sure they get most of their points, but they're not quite getting a compliant score for their max score. So you can see that right there. I gave them a 4. And along with that, underneath there's this little checkbox, and there's 2 ways this will appear. So the first one is, if your admin has not forced an incident to be created, if it's scored less than the max score, it'll have the box down here that you can actually check if you're below the max score. So I've checked that to create an incident into our incident reporting system. The other way I will show you here in just a minute. With that, like I said, if it's below the max score, you are required to enter a comment into the box. You can see I entered that comment. And then also I want to point out over here is an upload files button. You can click that upload file button and add pictures or whatever you want to. And if I click on this one, I'm going to go ahead and add a picture to it. Hit open so you can see how that works. Now you can see there's a picture file in there, and once you save, you'll be able to see that picture. I'm going to go ahead and score that as a 1. And I'm going to hit save and stay. Now that I have done all the questions and have completed each one for both sections, you're going to see that a date completed box pops up here at the top. Now, you are able to go in, now that you're done, and hit the completion date. So I'm going to put today's date in as completed. Any comments I wanted to add to that, I can. Then I'm going to come down and hit save and stay one more time. What that will do is it'll pop up the approved box. If you're doing corporate audits, you have to be able to approve it, you have to be a region, role level, or above. If you're doing a location audit, you have to approve, to be able to approve it, you have to be a location admin and above. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and approve mine, and I'm going to hit save and stay because I want to show you one more feature that we're going to look at. So now that I've done that, in that box that I checked and to require an incident, it has created an incident into our system. Now what you can't tell is that you can actually click on that. It will take you to the incident reporting system. It'll have that audit question. It's going to have the comments we entered for that audit question, and now you can enter a corrective action in there. Now, once you get your corrective actions done, you save, and you're ready to go back over to the audit, you can click on this hyperlink button. It will take you back to the audit in case you want to look at a couple things in it. Now, I did talk about a little bit about the little checkbox down below where you can add an incident. I also want to switch back over to my PowerPoint here and show you guys what the other one looks like. So here's the differences. There's a forcing an incident, which corporate role levels will set this up on the admin side. And if you force an incident, if you put a 0 in that score box, it's actually going to go ahead and create that incident. But if it's not forcing an incident like it was for me, you actually have to check that box. So it's up to you guys or up to your corporate role levels at your company if they want to do that. Now the other thing is once you create an incident in the system, it's going to actually send out an alert to anybody who has signed up to get the audit findings alert. If you're trying to do that, you can actually go and set up incidents by going into the incident reporting admin, program C. This is for corporate users, and you can actually go into on incident entry and enter. You can come in here, pick your role level, and now you'll have a list of employees that you can pick which ones will be getting those incident alerts. All right, we're going to talk about the next section. It's going to be the mobile app. So this is the My Insight mobile app. This is for the audit. In order to find that mobile app, you're going to go into the Apple iTunes Store or the Android Google Play Store and look up My Insight. If you're having any problem finding it in there, you can try DEKRA or maybe RCI Safety, depending on what it's searching for in there. You should be able to find it. It looks just like this little green one right here. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to log in using your same credentials that you log in using our system. And then it'll bring you to a page where you're going to enter your locations and you're going to pick which checklist or which audits you want to do. And then once you get that all loaded, it's going to actually bring you to this page. You can click on it. So I'm going to do this pre-operational checklist. Once it brings me into the checklist, you're going to see this first screen right here. And on this screen, I'm going to point out a few things. If it's in red, it means you haven't completed that question yet. If it's in green, you have. So this whole audit, they've done about 70 or 25% of it, but they have not completed it totally. It's still at 70, you still have 75% to do. I also want to point out down here at the bottom, there's a comment box. This comment box is normally used for just the entire audit rather than per question. You will have that comment box in the questions. Also, same with the add media feature at the bottom there. You can actually click on that and take a picture if you want to add it for that whole audit. Then over here on the right-hand side, you can see one of the first questions that is in this audit, and you can do several things. So you can always mark it not applicable, just like you could online. And then you're going to want to score it. So you can score 0 to 1 or whatever you have your max score set to. You can score that by just moving that little toggle over a little bit. Then if you have a 0, you're going to obviously want to add a comment. So that's what this box is right below it. Then as you come down, you're going to see you can actually add corrective actions straight to this question. We're going to look at a screenshot of that here in just a second. We're also going to have the option of adding a media to this actual question. Move my screen. All right, so on the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to see how you can actually enter a question or a corrective action. So you're going to pick the location's employees, and you're just going to keep coming down, add the target date of when you want that corrective action done by, the priority it is, any comments. You could add a picture, so if you're ordering goggles, you could actually click on that, send them a picture of the actual goggles you want them to order. And this is another shot of what it looks like when you go in to use this Add Media button. So if you click on that, you can hit take a picture. It'll take a picture, as you can see right here. And then you can use your finger on that mobile app, and you can circle or you can draw an arrow to what you're wanting everybody to see. And then when you're done, you're going to hit save, and then you're going to go in and actually upload this to the system. So once I click upload, and it'll ask you, are you sure you want to upload it? You hit yes. Then you're going to go, and it's going to be in the actual online system. So you log in, you can actually see that checklist or that audit that you just did, and it'll be located right there. The next app we're going to look at is the My Walkthrough app. This is similar to the other one. You're going to go into the Google Play Store, but the difference is it's going to be called My Walkthrough, not the My Insight, but the My Walkthrough app. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to install it, and then you're going to use your same username and password to get into it. Once you do that, it's going to bring you to this screen right here, and you're going to start filling out the information it's requesting. First, you're going to put in the walkthrough date. The next thing you're going to put in is kind of like a friendly name so you understand which one of these audits you're actually doing when you go back in to look at them. And then you're going to put in a location name from the drop-down, and then the walkthrough type. And there's several types that your administration people have actually entered into those. If they haven't done that, you can call your account manager and they can help you get those set up for you. So the next thing down is when you're going to start entering your findings. So you can see here, you're just going to click this add button. It's going to add a new line, and you're going to actually pick the name of the person that you're assigning the finding to, how long they have to get it done, the priority level, and then you're going to actually put in some action text, and then you're going to be able to annotate and put pictures in, just like you can see over here on the right-hand side. All you do is click that image button, you hit take picture. You can take a picture, and then you can use your finger again to draw on that picture to show what you're wanting them to see. You also can delete one if you decide you don't need that one anymore. I want to point out over here on the bottom that there's several different stoplight colors, and I want to explain what each one of those means. So as you're entering your findings in here, once you hit add, it's actually going to start out in red. And what that means is it's not connected to Wi-Fi probably, or it could be that it just hasn't synced yet, and that means you need to make sure it's yellow before you can complete this walkthrough. The next thing down is yellow. So if it's yellow, it has synced with our online system, so you can actually go into the online system now and see that one. If it is green, it means you have hit the complete walkthrough button and turned them all green. That means it's complete. All of the action items or the corrective actions have been sent out to whoever was assigned to them, and they'll be getting those in the incident reporting system where they can go back in and actually finish those. So if you want to leave it on yellow, you can actually come into the online system and finish it. So if you don't want to go out and type all that stuff in on your mobile device, you just want to go out, take some pictures, you can always do that and then come in here and finish it. And this is under the admin screen, or under admin, and then you go down to admin and walk through admin in our system. And what you can do is you can find that walkthrough that you just did, you can click on the findings, and then you can go in and finish out those. Once you're done with those, you can see over here the ones that say completed means they've already been completed and those corrective actions have been sent out. Ones that are missing info, maybe because you just didn't finish it out in the field, say missing info. And the ones that have all the info in them that haven't been completed, you can click on that button and it'll complete them. Once you complete those, you can see the completed, the print button appears over here on the right-hand side. So, along with incident reporting reports, you also get this printout of everything that you found in the findings that looks like this. It'll tell everything you filled out in it, and then you're going to see images. Now, these images look pretty small when you're looking at this, but when you click that print button, you can actually click on the picture, and it will blow it up so you guys can see it a little bit better. That's a good report you guys can use. The next thing we're going to look at is the report library. And I'm going to go back to live here, and I'm going to click report library so I can show you how to subscribe to a report. So there's several ways you can go into this. Once you click report library, you can either go here and then go to audit and then find the audit you're looking for, the audit report you're looking for. You could also go into view reports as a list, and it will also give you lists of those. I'm going to choose this method right here. I'm going to go to open audit. We're going to look at this report here in just a minute, but I want to show you how to subscribe to a report. First of all, what you need to do is you need to start down here using the filters, going left to right. Don't go down, you need to go left to right. And you're just going to pick everything that you want to show for all the business units. Once I've got those all selected, then I click off of it, and then the new set comes up over here so I can select which ones I want out of the regions. Same with the locations, and so forth. You're just going to keep going down until you get everything you want. Then once you're done with that, you're going to click View Report. if you selected everything. And then the report will appear down here. So you would look at it, make sure it's the way you want it. Then I'm going to show you how to subscribe. So up here, you'll see that it's sitting on the 10th right now. You can select whatever date you want it sent to you on. So I want this one sent to me on a Monday. I prefer all the bar charts like this to actually be in PDF rather than any of the other options you guys have here, but you can use any of these. I pick PDF. Then I'm going to say Galveston Open Audits Report. Oops. That's a friendly name. If you don't name it a friendly name, it'll actually just name it what it's listed up here. And then when I hit add subscription, it's going to automatically subscribe me to that report. Now, you also maybe want others to be subscribed to this report. If you do that, you want to click this little button right next to the add subscription button. It'll take you to this page. Then you can select who you want to add this. Now note up here, it does say names in red have no email. If they do not have email, that means you cannot send them a subscription. So you can see the only two I can send it to is John and George. You're going to have that option to put that friendly name in again. And then once you've got everything you want in there, you're going to hit this add subscription to send to others. We're going to just take a quick look at this report. This is actually the Open Audits report, and you can kind of see how your locations are doing and all the different types of audits they have. So we're looking at Sicily here, and you can see the different types of audits they have. Their compliance audit, environmental audit, sanitation. They have a couple of them that they haven't completed, and they have a couple that they have. And also I want to point out that this is highlighted in blue right now. So if you would click on that, it will actually give you a screenshot of the audit that has been completed, so you can see that. The next report we're going to look at is the variance report. This is the variance by audit. It shows all audits in a date range. It breaks down the region, location, audit date, and why the audit received a certain score. You are able to see the comments and if a corrective action was taken. You can see down there under safety kitchen equipment, there is an actual corrective action, and you can see what they did. All right, then the last slide here for reports, we do have a dashboard. If you're looking to find where that dashboard is and add a card, you go to Applications, Dashboard, and then you'll see they have an audit scores bar chart. And this is going to break down audit scores for specific locations. This card will allow you to quickly trend audit scores over time. The user can run the card for specific locations and audit types and time frame. This card is displayed in a bar graph, so it's nice. You can see kind of how you're doing. I'm going to turn it back over to Julie just for a minute.
All right. So our goal was to show you how using the Insight VIA will help you with all phases of this continuous improvement model, but especially we wanted you to see the auditing functions of Insight VIA that will help you inspect what you expect. With deficiencies from an audit or walkthrough moving seamlessly into the incident reporting function of Insight VIA, you have the capability to follow through and act on any deficiencies. You can assign any incident or deficiency or variance to someone or to a team for completion or revision. And you can assign a level of priority and a designated time for completing. Using the reporting function, follow that incident or deficiency through completion. I think Carla did a great job of showing us how all that works. We hope you have seen the many benefits, primarily continuous improvements to your employee safety and your company's operations. And we know you now have the background knowledge to ask questions and find help or move forward on building your auditing system. Keep in mind that DEKRA has professionals to help you with your auditing design or professionals to conduct third-party auditing to help you determine where you are and where you need help.
All right, so just a few closing things, I want to talk about the help options. You can see here, this is a screenshot of our front screen. There is over on the right-hand side in that green bar, help files that you can click on, and there's a step-by-step tutorial with pictures of how to do things in our system. So that's something you can use. We also have a live feature or live chat feature that you can click on and talk to one of our associates. We also have help desk tickets if you want to put a help desk ticket in. You can do that also. Then we also have something that's kind of new to us that we haven't had for very long, you may not know about, is our YouTube channel. If you go into YouTube and you search for DEKRA Management Systems, you will find several videos that we've done webinars over, and you'll see at the very end, the last one is about application training, audit management, and that's where we go over actually the whole entire policy audit system, and you can actually see how to enter questions into the system, how to set things up, things like that. It's all in that actual YouTube video. At this time, we're going to go through some of the questions that came in during our presentation. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to go down to that questions bar and start typing those in, and we're going to start answering some of the questions that came in. So the first question we had is, when creating an incident, will it generate separate audit incidents for each corrective action? Each audit question with less than the max score will create a separate incident. In each audit incident, you will be able to create one or multiple corrective actions. And we're still waiting. We don't have any other questions right this moment, but we're going to give it a couple minutes here just to see if any more come in. All right, at this time, I think we'll go ahead and close the webinar. Thank you guys all for attending. And if there are any questions that come in after we close this, we'll go ahead and answer those for you when we send out the actual video. So, or you can also call and contact your account manager and they can help you with those. Thank you.